Hi everyone, my name is Antonia, this is Artfight Pictures, and today we are going to talk about Artfight. I know, again, but I have two questions that I want to answer that you've been asking down in the comments. The first question, we are going to talk about mass attacks. What are they and how do you do a mass attack on Artfight? And the second question we're going to cover in this video is going to be about revenge chains, how do they work, and how do you keep them going? So let's go ahead and dive into some of the footage and get started. First things first, let's look at the attack guide under the FAQ on Artfight, the website itself, where they have listed here under the spoiler mass attacks. Here we have the definition of mass attack, which is an attack with a lot of characters in it, how to post one by submitting an attack as usual, but then adding an extra character with the add character button, and you can add up to 100 characters per attack, so if you're feeling especially motivated, that is an option. There is a one main recipient situation going on, but everybody that is attacked will be notified. And I will cover that in a little more detail later on, but first I'm going to go ahead and put together an example mass attack artwork so that we can go through the process of how to submit this on screen for you so you can follow along and do the same. I chose to do my mass attack on 3 frog characters, so while this may not be the largest mass attack, it still counts as one. 2 of these are going to be friendly fires, while one of them will be an actual attack against the opposing team. It is okay to include both in the same attack art, so if you're doing a mass attack and you have a mixture of friendly fires and normal attacks, all that matters is that you choose which one you want it to be when you submit the artwork, whether you want it to be a normal attack and get normal attack points, or a friendly fire and get the 20% value of a normal attack. It does seem like a no-brainer. You want more points, obviously, but there are going to be a few occasions or instances where you might want to make this a friendly fire, and we'll go over those in a moment, but we first need to set up our attack, so let's go ahead and look at the website and do that. Just like on a normal attack, the first thing you want to do is copy the character ID. So pick one of the characters in your mass attack, copy their ID, and then submit attack, just like normal. Once you come here, you're going to, of course, want to give it a title. I'm going to call mine Welcome Adventures because I think the little frogs look like they are part of some kind of D&D campaign and belong to a certain adventuring party that are going to save the universe or something, you know? And since I'm doing this on my iPad, I'm able to just sort of handwrite those in, but if I'm having an issue with that, I can pull up my keyboard just like I'm doing here because I got this somehow out of order, but we're going to correct that. I also want to include a description. I'm going to write that a little later, and you'll see in this video as we get further into it that I actually put it in the private description box rather than this description box. Don't do that, don't be like me, put your descriptions in the appropriate box, but that's just a little heads up. What we're actually going to do next is add the character ID that we copied and select whether or not this is going to be a full body picture, which in this case it is. I'm copying the character creator's name so I can put that up here in recipient username. This is where we mentioned before there would be one main recipient. We're only going to get to put the name in for one of the characters that we are attacking, and in this case I currently have on here a friendly fire. Later I will change this to an actual attack main character, so you'll see the colors change there for the username from green to purple, but putting the friendly fire version in first gives us an opportunity to look at the difference between the point totals if we were submitting this mass attack as a friendly fire versus submitting a mass attack as an actual team attack. The next step is to hit add a character, put in a new character ID, and select what type of body it is before hitting check. It will check and pull up those hyperlinks that let you know that you've appropriately tagged them. And here I am adding the description, of course, in the wrong place under private description, which luckily, when you go to edit your attack later, if you wish to edit your attack, you can't change the photo and you can't change who the attack is attached to, but what you can change is the description in the title. So I am able to fix this in post, once I was finished filming this video. The next thing to do is choose file for your main image. I'm going to go to my photo library and select that image that you just watched me draw. Add that, and then I'm not doing a thumbnail, but you can if you want to. Choose maturity level, which is none for this photo, and go through the grading fields, which is type, finish level, color, shading, and background, and also add polish if you put that extra level of effort into the artwork. Once you're finished filling everything out, click on confirm attack details. That will bring up your submission form with everything that you have entered. Make sure to read through these so that everything is exactly how you want it to be, because you're not going to be able to edit these details later. Notice how friendly fire, I have calculated 37 points for this mass attack, but I'm going to go back now and take a look at what happens when I change this from a friendly fire mass attack to an opposing team mass attack. And to do that, I'm going to pick Marielle's creator, which is Starry Cutie. This was the frog on the left of my illustration wearing the mushroom hat and had the satchel that ran from shoulder to hip across the body. After I've swapped that out and hit the check mark, I can come down here to confirm attack details again, and once this loads, it's going to pull up the difference. Remember, before we had a 37 point total, but now looking at this as an actual team attack, it is worth 185 points. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit and send this through as my actual attack, since this is a real attack. And if you scroll down here beneath the description section of the artwork, we're going to be able to see all of the names listed for each character that I attacked, which means each of these characters will be notified of the attack in their notifications. With all of that said, let's go ahead and take a look now at a revenge chain and how you start them and how you keep them going. To start a revenge chain, you first need an attack to revenge against. So one of your characters has to be attacked by another player, and we can find our attacks here under the defense bar. Pulling up one of these, I am going to scroll down past the attack info, and here in between attack info and comments is where you would be able to tell whether or not there was a revenge chain. For this one, there isn't currently, but I will fix that a little bit later. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at another example where we do have an attack chain established and see what that looks like. Here we have Cash Axe's drawing of one of my characters, and they started this attack chain with this attack first. So this will count as level 0, and you can see that in the revenge chain just here between the comments and the attack details section. And I've already done a revenge attack against this, which is why we're seeing it over here on the right side with living her best life. And if we click on that, we can now go to my revenge art, and I will show you in a moment how to submit these so that they are linked like this. And down here on my attack, we see revenge chain link level 1, showing both the previous attack by Amelia and the next attack that Amelia returned to me following this one that I did. So if we click on Feign here, we are now looking at the most recent chain link in this attack revenge chain, and down here we're seeing that this is revenge chain level 2. And of course the previous one, living her best life, there isn't anything currently in next to see, so that is empty. Let's go ahead and take a look at how I could fix this, how you can submit your own revenge attacks and link them in a revenge attack chain. The first step is to go to the person who attacked you's profile page and look at their characters. Pick a character from their characters tab that you would like to draw as your revenge. Once you have your drawing, go up here and click copy the character ID number. Make sure you have that saved somewhere, if not on your clipboard, before going up here to submit attack. And just like any other attack, you would get the same form. We're going to fill this out the same way. We're going to include a title, we're going to include a description, and we're going to paste or type out the character ID number into this character ID form, fill in the body type, and click check. That is going to pull up the information that we need for the recipient username, so I'm going to go ahead and check that. After you add recipient username, you're going to want to go down here and add this next step, that is find revengeable attacks. Click on this and it's going to go ahead and pre-fill in any attacks that they have made against one of your characters that has not been yet revenged. The rest of the form is filled out just like you would any other attack, even if it was you initiating the first attack. Add your file, which I don't have a file to add here, so I'm just going to go ahead and confirm attack details but not submit the attack, just so we can take a look at what this looks like. And we are going to see the submission form, the point total value, and the option to submit. Again, I'm not going to submit this just yet because I haven't drawn the revenge attack yet, but we're going to take a look at another one that I did do. And bonus, this is both a mass attack and a part of an attack chain. So scrolling through here, you're going to see a bunch of characters under the attack info, because in 2020, I was participating in this persona trend that was going on Artfight. And here we have a revenge chain with one of those mass attacks. And here is just one example of why you might want to have a friendly fire for a mass attack main character. And that might be if you are in the middle of a revenge chain and you wanted to keep going, just like I did here with Nahavara's back in 2020. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you got value out of it. If you liked it, please remember to like by hitting the thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe because I am creating art and animation content on my channel all the time, a lot of which is Artfight related. Thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful Artfight season.